Within this presentation, we are going to look at the three pieces of legislation that would most likely affect the delivery of customer service. These are the Sale of Goods Act, the Consumer Protection Act, and the Trade Description Act. Under the Sale of Goods Act, goods must be as described, of satisfactory quality and fit for purpose. This means staff must ensure that they have good product knowledge, describe the goods accordingly, and sell goods to meet customer needs. The implications of the Consumer Protection Act on customer service are: staff must be honest and careful about pricing. Staff must notify management of any defective product and take it off sale or display. The implications of the Trade Descriptions Act on customer service is that staff have good, up-to-date product and service knowledge. Staff must not falsely describe goods to get a sale, and staff must not make any false statement about the provision of any services, facilities, or accommodation. Health and safety legislation affects customer service delivery, as it requires staff in an organisation to ensure the safety of themselves and others, act responsibly, consider any hazards they see and remove them, have good product and service knowledge, ensure all advice covers the safe use of products and services, and have up-to-date knowledge of organisational policies and procedures relating to health and safety. Environmental legislation affects customer service delivery in the following ways. Staff must minimise wastage, have product and service knowledge that covers environmental issues and advice, have up-to-date knowledge of environmental legislation regarding disposal of unused, old, or irreparable products, and also have up-to-date knowledge of organisational policies and procedures relating to environmental issues. Ethical standards are a set of moral values, and if a business has set ethical standards, they need to be considered in all daily activities. If a business, for example, states it will only buy from ethical suppliers, then it will need to do so. Also, if it states it will treat all with fairness, it means customers will expect a business that treats all equally and not take part in any immoral practice or activity. In customer service, ensuring equality in all aspects of customer service delivery is vital. It requires that staff treat all customers equally and with respect. This is regardless of their age, disability, gender reassignment, marriage and civil partnership, pregnancy and maternity, race, religion or belief, sex, sexual orientation. The Equality Act is the legislation that applies here. Data protection is important to all organisations, as data on its activities must be kept confidential to stop competitors acquiring it. However, legislation means that consumer personal data must be obtained lawfully and used for the purpose it was obtained for. It also can't be kept for longer than is necessary and must be accurate and kept up to date. The Data Protection Act contains 8 principles. Number 1. Personal data shall be processed fairly and lawfully and, in particular, shall not be processed unless a. At least one of the conditions in Schedule 2 is met, and b. In the case of sensitive personal data, at least one of the conditions in Schedule 3 is also met. Number 2. Personal data shall be obtained only for one or more specified and lawful purposes, and shall not be further processed in any manner incompatible with that purpose or those purposes. Number 3. Personal data shall be adequate, relevant, and not excessive in relation to the purpose or purposes for which they are processed. Number 4. Personal data shall be accurate and, when necessary, kept up to date. Number 5. Personal data processed for any purpose or purposes shall not be kept for longer than is necessary for that purpose or those purposes. Number 6. Personal data shall be processed in accordance with the rights of data under the subject of this Act. Number 7. Appropriate technical and organisational measures shall be taken against unauthorised or unlawful processing of personal data, and against accidental loss or destruction of or damage to personal data. Number 8. Personal data shall not be transferred to a country or territory outside the European Economic Area, unless that country or territory ensures an adequate level of protection for the rights and freedoms of data subjects in relation to the processing of personal information. Overall, personal data on customers must be held according to the Act, but an individual can request access to their own data held by an organisation, and the organisation will require to give that information to the individual. Under the Data Protection Act, data can be collected only for one or more specified and lawful purposes. It also needs to be accurate, kept up to date, and should not be stored for longer than is needed. It also should be used for the specified purpose only.